Extreme Rules 2021, it was indeed Charlotte Flair versus Alexa Bliss for the Women's Championship, and when Charlotte Flair won, she grabbed Lilly, that was Alexa Bliss's doll friend, I suppose, and she tore Lilly to pieces while also saying this. See, that's the problem, Sarah. She was talking to the interviewer. She didn't say Sarah for no reason. You're encouraging Lexi. You're asking about Lilly. How about I wonder how Alexa feels that she didn't win the Raw Women's Championship? That's the problem. No, I don't want to talk about Lilly. Let's talk about Alexa. The Alexa that I faced tonight was the old Alexa. She was the Alexa that I saw when she held the Raw Women's Championship. She's what, a 3-time? No. 4-time Raw Women's Champion? No. Tonight she fought me. She faced me. She came at me, and yes, I'm the queen. I still won, but that's the Alexa we all want to see. I don't want to hear about Lilly. Ripping up Lilly was a wake-up call to remind her that she is still a champion at heart, and that's who she is. Now, at this juncture, we do need to make it very clear that Alexa Bliss was way more upset that Lilly was now dead, for lack of a better word, as opposed to not winning that Raw Women's Championship. So you kind of thought to yourself, well, I guess this is going to go somewhere. Now, we probably do need to explain when this does begin, and we do go back to the TLC pay-per-view, where, yes, Bray Wyatt had set fire to the Fiend, as opposed to Alexa, who was the Fiend's friend, decided, well, I need some kind of make good when she came up with Lilly. Or I guess she was possessed by Lilly, I don't know. This all led into the Alexa Playground segments, which were essentially her own version of the Fly Foul Funhouse. And yes, the payoff to that, I suppose, was Lilly, the crazy doll, chasing Shayna Baszler down a dark corridor, as Shayna had insulted Lilly by saying, "Ha, you're not really alive," when the doll tried to kill Shayna. Once again, don't get mad at me, I am quite literally just recounting what did happen on WWE television, and of all the people to pick, they picked Shayna Baszler. I mean, she should have been bottom of the list because she's badass. Now, Bliss has spoken about this and said that Lilly the doll was meant to be her coping mechanism, given that her friend Bray Wyatt had been set on fire. But even after Wyatt had returned to TV, she's still stuck with Lilly the doll, mostly because she betrayed Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, which is a story in and of itself. Now, really, after all of that, Alexa Bliss started to become more human again, even though she had the doll. Let's just be honest here, just look around to make sure no one's going to yell at me. WWE essentially did this for merchandise purposes, and you can't get mad at that. That's what pro wrestling is built on. Oh, hey, you like this person, why don't you buy a t-shirt or an accessory? Alexa certainly saw it different as well, because she was like, well, now I can use Lilly as a part of that old character that I never want to say goodbye to. Actually, given what did happen, I do think that's very nice. Maybe that's really what we should talk about more. I also could play into the future, because I suppose if we ever do get this long-rumored connection between Alexa Bliss and the Wyatt Six, it could be Lilly that is the catalyst. So there you go. If your buddy does get super plunged into flames and they go up in smoke, you should probably go and get yourself a doll. We all understand? Great. Now, during their 2021 feud as well, Alexa Bliss even introduced Charlie, that was a Charlotte Flair doll, to the Queen. Surprise, surprise. Flair was like, well, I want nothing to do with that thing, because if it's anything like Lilly, it could be possessed. I don't know about you, but I don't want to live in a horror movie. I mean, at the very least, you'd probably wake up and it was cutting your hair. I think Chucky did that once, and then Chucky started stabbing people. So once again, if somebody knocks on your door and wants to sell you a terrifying doll, you just say no. The movies have taught us this. Now, as you've already figured out, guess what happened after this? Absolutely nothing. By the time we got to the next pay-per-view, there was Crown Jewel. All of a sudden, Raw was focusing on Doudrop versus Zelina Vega. By the Survivor Series, WWE was still doing that thing where it's Raw champion taking on SmackDown champion, so it was Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch, and when 2002 rolled around, Charlotte was no longer the champion, so she entered the Royal Rumble, and she was more worried about that, and she did not care about Alexa and a doll. Bliss didn't really do anything during that period either until she randomly popped back up during the Elimination Chamber, but she got taken out by Bianca Belair, so it's like both of them had forgotten, which actually could be the result of Lilly hanging around. But of course, WWE didn't mention that. They just decided, you know what, we don't want to do this anymore, so they just stopped. I do want to give credit to Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, because when they were paired together in 2025, they even had a conversation that was like, I do remember that you ripped up my doll. I'm not sure deep down in my tum-tum, my tootsie toes, and my heart that I can ever forgive you. And that's always nice if you are a long-term fan. You're not getting slapped in the face. I mean, you were at the time, but at least here we got some retribution. But I actually think when we do get to the whole Charlotte and Alexa breaking up, which I think WWE is hinting at, it may be Lilly that serves as the reason for all this, and it will still be better than what we did do 5 years ago, which again, this is the problem with this Mysterio series. The answer is nothing. Nada. We don't know. Vince McMahon just woke up and decided, I don't want to do that even more. Or maybe worse, he totally forgot and he just started scribbling other directions. So really, if you were going to recount this story to someone, you do have to say, well, Charlotte Flair killed her doll, and for some reason there was no revenge. Although actually it does tie into a bigger story with Alexa Bliss, because of course soon after this, she disappeared from WWE TV for ages because she was pregnant and she was going to have a baby. that is way more important than sports entertainment. As always, wrestling is the most important of the least important things. Now we can do a little bit of digging here because of course around this period too is when Bray Wyatt had that shocking firing, or when he was let go from the WWE, that nobody did see coming. And we had kind of hinted that maybe Alexa Bliss was going to stand into this Sister Abigail role. But as soon as Bray was no longer employed, well, what are you going to do? If you had still have done that, it would have felt like a right slap in the face. And why do you think Bray Wyatt was brought back eventually? Because everybody knows that was a stupid idea. It's sort of why I'm massively high on the Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss tag team that we do have right now as I am recording this video. Because not only is it a wink wink nod nod to what we did back there, but actually they have both helped each other's careers massively. Like Alexa did have a big return and we didn't really understand where she was going to go. And Charlotte Flair desperately needed something after the kind of mistaken singles return when she did win the Royal Rumble. But now they're just both being themselves, have great chemistry together, and they've helped boost the women's tag team scene. I mean, this, as far as I'm concerned, is a tick, tick, tick. And as above, too, they are more than happy to mention Lilly, which goes to show that it was not them that made this decision way back when. That would have been way above their heads. And as soon as they could sneak it back in, they did. I appreciate it. Of course, another reason all this may have been derailed is because of the whole Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch feud we did to at Survivor Series. Because yes, just before then, we did get the most awkward segment in SmackDown history, when WWE was so obsessed with the colours of their belts. If one of you got moved to Raw and the other one got moved to SmackDown, you had to quite literally change them so that the red champion had the red version and the blue champion had the blue version. If you've never seen this, you should YouTube it right now. It goes totally off the rails because for some reason Charlotte Flair throws her title on the floor, which was not meant to happen. She was meant to pass it to Becky Lynch. You can see in Becky Lynch's eyes she did not appreciate that. Apparently they cussed each other out backstage and they fell out for a long ass time. So I can totally understand why all of a sudden the creative team would have been, well, we better come up with something different. It's a nice reminder though that any kind of ending is better than absolutely nothing, because otherwise you do pop up a few years later and it will get in your brain and you have to ask yourself, wait a minute, I dedicated weeks of my life to that story and I have no idea what happened in the end. Well, it's not even that I don't know what happened. There's nothing. You can't even look it up. It's empty. So this one does have to be filed under nonsense, which is we had a doll. The doll got ripped up. The doll had magical powers. And then one day, because we wanted to sell more merchandise, the doll returned, but it didn't really have any magical powers anymore. And Alexa Bliss also stopped her talk show. Who knows? Also actually never explained how Lilly was able to do those things either. So I guess really it goes back to what the core of all this is that if something is bothering you, you should burn it. I mean, that's what Randy Orton did to the Fiend. So maybe that's what Charlotte should have done to Lilly, although she did just rip her head off instead. I don't know, I'm just waffling now. It really is one of those things that never make sense. Now, as always, when it does come to mystery wrestling angles that finish, there is no answer, so you can put your fantasy booking below. How should we have ended Alexa Bliss versus Charlotte Flair, given that they are teaming up right now, as long as you are watching this before somebody pulls the trigger? Do we use Lilly in order to break them up, or is that a waste of time? If you are hanging out down there too, please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click the video on the screen, which is yet another wrestling mystery. And again, there's no reward there. There's no satisfying. It's just going to be a complete question mark as long as we do this series. But I appreciate you, my friends, and I will see you soon.